Hi everyone, welcome to Pi International Educations, and for today's lecture on SAT Math, we're going to be talking about algebra word problems. Now, algebra word problems are one of the most frequently appearing questions or types of questions on the SAT Math, so it's actually imperative that you guys have a very good grasp on the algebra word problems. Now, a couple of hints or a couple of ways that you could actually solve for it is make sure that whatever the word problem is, you can actually convert the language of the word problem into the actual algebraic equation. So for example, one of the tips I can tell you is off usually means multiplication. Okay, so don't actually mistake this with x. This is actually multiplication. Is refers to an equal sign. Okay, so and what, for example, refers to a variable. So that's one of the things that you should actually pay attention to. So whenever they're asking for what or is or of, now you guys know that what they're actually referring to. Now, in terms of algebra word problems, the best way to actually do it is take the word problem and dissect it so that you can get an equation out of it. So get an equation out of it. Okay. The next thing that you have to actually do is solve the equation for the variable. And then finally, what you have to make sure is that the question stem is actually asking you for that variable, because oftentimes what can happen, especially with systems of equation, they might actually give you, or they might actually ask you for another variable, or they might actually say that, okay, what is this variable multiplied by a certain number? So, and the test takers actually, or test makers actually trick you into giving you the variable as the answer. So pay close attention to what the question is actually asking so you guys don't get tripped up. Now, the best way to actually do it is with a problem. So in this example, Peter has 6 times as many dimes as quarters in his piggy bank. He has 21 coins in his piggy bank, totaling $2.55. How many of each type of coins does he have? Now, there's two ways you can actually solve for it. You can actually set up two separate variables like x and y and have that equal 21. And then actually, you could also have the other x and y values equal 2.55 and you can get it. Alternatively, another way you could actually think about it is one of the informations that they will actually give you is 1 dime is going to be 10 cents and 1 quarter is going to be 25 cents. And remember, 100 cents make $1. So this 2.55, for example, would actually be 255 cents. So if we actually know this, we know that he has 6 times as many dimes as quarters. So he actually has 6 times dimes, right? So 6 dimes for every quarter, right? We know that he has 6 times as many dimes as quarters, so 6D is going to give you Q, and Q in this case would stand for quarters. Now, we could actually solve it and say that 6D plus Q will actually equal 21, and we could actually set it up like that. Alternatively, what we could do is we could set both of these variables as X. So we know that the number of dimes he has is 6 times as many as quarters. We also know that each dime is worth 10 cents. So if we actually put it in terms of perspective and put it in terms of x, we can say that the dimes are worth 10 cents. And we can say that Q is worth 25 cents. And if we actually have it in terms of x, so that the x in this case would actually add up to the variable or to the value 255. So if we put it in terms of x, we can say that 60x plus 25x is actually going to equal 255. Remember, x in this case, it would actually represent the dime multiplied by 6. So that's why you would have 60. And in this case, the x over here would actually represent the quarter multiplied by 25. So that, for indicating quarters. So that would actually be why you would be multiplying by 25. So you would have 60x plus 25x equaling 255, which is actually going to be 85x equaling 255. And in this case, x is going to equal 3. So if x is equal to 3, and we said that x is nothing, so if we said that x is the number of coins that he actually has, or the number of dimes that he actually has, right, then we can say that he would have 6 times 3 or 18 dimes, and in quarters he would actually have 1 times 3 or 3 quarters. And notice that 18 plus 3 would actually add up to 21, which is right here, 21 coins. So he would have 18 dimes and he would have 3 quarters. So this is actually fairly easy to set up. So you could say that 6d plus q actually equals 21, and we could also say that 60d plus 25q also equals 255. And so you don't actually have to do it with x, but if you do it with x, it can be much simpler because you don't have to set up 2 separate variables. And so with that, the more you practice with algebra word problems, the better you're going to get, and the better you are going to get at understanding the values or understanding how to actually take the word problem and convert it into an equation. And with that, we actually conclude our section on algebra word problems, and I hope to see you in the next one. Thank you.